Now you're currently on tour in support of your great debut album. What's it like to put in the hard work and have a document of your work and share it with legions of admirers?
The legions. No, it's actually kind of been cooler playing shows after the records come out, because people seem to have been eager to learn the words and that type of thing.
You guys have a massive common ground for music. How do you feel the Drowners creative partnership has evolved since its inception?
Well, I mean, just through playing with each other and like recognising each other's strengths, the songs kind of like changed in that way. I guess like just touring last year was kind of the big step of making everything better. Still, you know, we were outside our practice space in New York, and this guy walks past. He's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, we're practicing." He's like, "Still haven't got it?" We're like, nearly got it.
You know, the album, like, it covers some serious themes. You've mentioned it covers paranoia, anxiety, and longing. How did you arrive at such subject matter?
I don't know. A Catholic childhood. I don't know. This just seemed to be in the forefront of my mind.
Okay, and I understand you wanted to adopt a New York, no time wasting, no bullshit attitude, and implement that into the songs with the tempo and the arrangement. How did you feel you managed to do that?
I think we wanted to like trim a lot of the fat of like kind of like not jamming so much at the time, and I don't know, the kind of like everyone always says like the songs are really short, but then like we pulled up this like Ramones album while we were recording, and all their songs were shorter than our songs. So, but someone told me Joey Ramone said that Ramones songs are like really long songs just played really fast, so that's why they come out so short. So maybe it's something similar.
Okay, and you mentioned the pace just then, and you know, Ways to Phrase the Rejection is the opening song. It's quick, it's fast, it's straight to the point, energetic. Was this a natural choice as the opener for the album with its charging guitars and the feel of it?
Yeah, I think so, right?
Yeah, I think that happened pretty early off.
Yeah, we started kind of like playing it at the start of the set and whatnot, so yeah.
Okay, I wanted to get your views on the origins for this song, A Button on Your Blouse, during which you mentioned being watched as a prisoner, wanting to eat only bread and water, and not wanting to leave the house. Well, what's the story behind the song itself?
Well, I guess that song's kind of like more character based than like, you know, say like me saying it. So it's about when you can't believe that this girl you fancy don't fancy you back.
You know, one of the songs on the album that really stands out is actually the bonus track, You Keep Showing Up. It's got a totally different feel to the rest of the album. It's quite spare.
That's my mother's favourite song as well.
Yeah, I mean, what prompted you to take that direction? I mean, opposed to the rest of the album, it's certainly a different sound.
That song, we kind of fucked around with it like as a full band, but we ended up just using the demo I recorded in my kitchen of it. I don't know, like sometimes like don't necessarily write for like a genre. You just write like whatever comes out. So yeah, that's why it was like relegated to bonus track and not in the main bloodline.
Here's a statement about your relationship with the rest of the guys. My music is British till I take it to the rest of the boys and they impregnate it with American.
Did I say that?
That's pretty good.
I'm like a British mother impregnated by American sperm. Do you want to tell us more about that?
Sums it up.
That sounds about right. Right?
Yeah.
In terms of touring, what aspects of touring do you particularly appreciate?
Well, people have recently started, like I said earlier, like after our album came out, people have started singing along, which is a bit like weird, but also like I think like fucking hell, someone in Bristol, like 3,000 miles from where we recorded, is like singing the words. Like that's weird and cool. That's my favourite bit. Yeah.
And you've been to some places which have really impressed you, and Brazil was one of the many places that you really enjoyed. What was the experience like for you guys?
Overwhelming, I guess.
Yeah, that was
like It's like the first time I was like getting off planes and people are there with an album that you haven't even seen physically in the States because it doesn't exist there, and they want you to sign it and want to chat you up. It's pretty surreal.
Yeah, I think maybe perhaps because less bands go there than say like Britain. They're like way more appreciative of when you play, and also like feel like they like to have a party. So
thought we could stay up all night real easy coming from New York. Those kids just want to go like it's like 4 a.m. pretty used to 4:30, and then those kids just like 6:30 in the morning. You're like ready to go somewhere else, go to another place, another party. It's cool.
Yeah.
Sounds great. And speaking of shows, you guys are scheduled to play Coachella in a few months. That must be a highlight that you're definitely looking forward to.
Yeah, I've only been to California once, but I've seen photos of Coachella and it looks enticing.
You yourself, Matt, you stated that you like to unwind by just simply walking in New York.
That's
What kind of impetus does that give you? Like, what does that do for you?
I don't know. I think everyone gets a kick out of walking around New York.
I mean, I had an apartment there for so long, and I've spent pretty much zero time in it, because as soon as you start walking around, you just see something new every day. Or it's like you're constantly confronted with this option, like every few minutes, like, do I look at the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life, or the craziest son of a bitch I've ever seen in my life?
Yeah.
So it's like it's never dull.
Yeah, I once saw a man. I saw a man having a shit on the steps of the 2nd Avenue F train, which is outside Whole Foods.
I had a rough night, okay.
And then when I turned around, I just saw like all these beautiful girls. So it's, it's a lot of stimulus, whether it's repulsive or beautiful.
If each of you could go back in time to see one performance, who would it be?
Beatles in Hamburg.
Yeah, that's a good one. Maybe Iggy at the Stooges at that Cincinnati gig where he smeared all the peanut butter on his chest and like walked on everyone's hands for the first time.
I think mine would probably be Joy Division.
Ooh,
Anywhere in Manchester.
that's a good one.
Finally.
Bee Gees, one like I live up there.
That's a good one.